Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. If you're watching us live, we do appreciate that. Of course, Facebook keeps these videos on our page forever. I think for a while anyway. You can always go back into our videos and watch them. We, of course, also appreciate those of you who are listening later or watching later. We do upload these shows to our website, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. It is a free page. We also have a free page for all of our coronavirus information. Of course, we also put video versions on our YouTube page. Happy Phase Tuesday, not Tuesday, happy Phase 2 day of the coronavirus economic recovery. The governor signed that proclamation last night. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Want to get into your traffic this morning. You're looking at minor delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. On-ramp delays getting onto I-12. However, I-12 is flowing. Delays at Dunn and Lockhart. Looks like people are still trying to navigate that new roundabout that has opened, as well as the Linder Road Bridge is opened as well, but want to remind folks that Buddy Ellis construction is still underway, so please keep that in mind. You are, other than that, looking like a pretty clear Friday. It's also a nice day outside. 73 degrees is your current temperature. It is going to get hot today. 91 degrees is your high. 73 degrees, your overnight low. Mixture of clouds and sun. More sun than clouds today. Going to be kind of cloudy tomorrow. And then, of course, Sunday, we're going to be moving into the effects of Cristobal. Yesterday, the governor declared a state of emergency with regard to the storm. Had been downgraded to a tropical depression, but is expected to pick up strength as it moves north through the central Gulf of Mexico, through that warm water, picking up some moisture as well for some rain. And it is expected to hit Louisiana sometime Sunday or Monday of next week. Now, the governor did say that the eastern eye wall is expected to hit the Baton Rouge area at this time, which would mean anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of rain in our area. Want to remind folks, you still got a couple of days. Make sure that trash is picked up in your yard. Throw it away. Get rid of all the leaves and the clippings and the branches. Clean out your ditches. Make sure that they are clean and ready for that water to flow into them and flow out of your area. Try to make sure that you're maintaining your personal space, because remember, we're all kind of responsible for the drainage that's going on here in Livingston Parish. I'm gonna scoot over a second here. I think I just solved one of my microphone problems. So anyway, we are all in this sort of drainage issue together. So please remember to try to keep your area clear. They've had, just to give you a couple of examples to kind of bring it on home. Here in the Denham Springs area, especially, they've had drainage problems in certain areas and have found things like cardboard boxes being sucked flush on top of storm drains and blocking the whole thing up. Basketballs inside subsurface drainage pipes. Those kinds of things. Try to keep your area clear. Those things can really gum up the works and can really cause a lot of damage too. That cardboard box example actually caused water to go into somebody's home. So please remember, keep your area clean, throw your garbage away, keep it in your garbage cans. Try to keep your garbage cans covered and under a covered area, of course, because we are expecting heavy rain starting Sunday and Monday. So that'll be coming through again. Probably going to start seeing those effects Sunday. Now, Walker distributed sandbags yesterday at Sidney Hutchinson Park. They may do it again. We're not entirely sure of that just yet. Denham Springs will be distributing today and tomorrow, sandbags that is. It will begin at 8 a.m. and run till noon at the Council of Aging, and both other locations, which is the fire department and behind James Drugstore, will be open in perpetuity. So 24/7. You go out there, it's self-service. Again, that will be at the fire department in Denham Springs as well as behind James Drugstore. Those will be today and tomorrow. The parish today will announce where they will be distributing sand in and around Livingston Parish, so we'll be waiting for that announcement to come sometime sometime this morning, I would imagine. Moving on, piece of good news for Livingston's Parish residents, but anybody that was around for Bass Pro may understand that sometimes these rulings don't end the process. In fact, sometimes they just getting started. Wednesday, actually, Judge Moore of the 19th Judicial District ruled in favor of flood victims that the I-12 barrier wall did, in fact, cause extra damage in the East Baton Rouge and Livingston Parish areas. Now, again, one of the reasons I brought up Bass Pro is because, during that time, what people saw was a lot of appeals. A lot of times the things got caught up in court for a while. That's kind of the expectation here. Right now, the suit is against the state, DOTD, and the contractors who were part of the Go Wider project. They're expecting an appeal from that. Of course, the contractors are insured for the most part. The state would be liable for part of it. However, that would have to be appropriated by the legislature. I know that a lot of the push is just to cut holes into the wall. There have been arguments that would reduce its effectiveness. So going to be a lot of back and forth. This is just kind of the beginning, but it's a good first step. Things might not have gone very far at all if the first judge had ruled against the citizens of Livingston Parish. But again, Judge Moore, 19th Judicial District Court judge, has ruled in favor of the flood victims that the I-12 barrier wall did in fact cause the flooding. Be interesting to see where this process goes from here. My expectation is an appeal, but we will see. Speaking of all this rain and drainage, did have a podcast with Mr. Garrett Graves. Sat down with him on Tuesday to do those. On Wednesday, we talked about schools. Thursday, or yesterday, we released the one talking about the co-meet. So the co-meet, of course, is moving forward. We talked about that contract last week, and he and I got to talking about some of the process for the co-meet and what comes next. I recommend you check it out. It's about 13 minutes. You can find it on our podcast page, www.livingstonparishnewscom/podcast. This was kind of his a ball he picked up and ran with. It's finally getting done. It's probably one of the major projects of his tenure. He's done a lot of things, but for Livingston Parish, this is a big deal. Now, a lot of people are asking, why is the co-meet a big deal here in Livingston Parish? Even conservative estimates say anywhere from 1.5 to 2 feet of clearance of extra help here in the Livingston Parish area, especially Western Livingston Parish. So it would have helped in 2016. So it's an important project. It's been on the books almost 40 years now. So it's good to see that finally getting some legs. And dirt will be moving here within the next couple of weeks. Again, so let's back up to this, I guess you can say. It's Phase 2 day, not Tuesday, Phase 2 day. We have officially moved into Phase 2 of Louisiana's economic recovery from the novel coronavirus. The governor signed that proclamation yesterday. Getting into your coronavirus statistics real quick, 4,562 cases in Louisiana, 2,772 deaths, 31,728 have recovered, 411,000 tests have been performed, 613 individuals are hospitalized on 82 ventilators. There are 453 cases in Livingston Parish, 31 deaths on 6,800 tests. Also want to throw out a real quick request. The state is asking that if you are available to donate plasma, please go do so. They are, a lot of these recovery victims from the novel coronavirus, plasma seems to be a thing that is in high demand for them. So please keep that in mind. If you can go donate, please do. Want to get into these mitigation efforts real quick. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds or more. Disinfect common surfaces at home and at your office. Wear a mask in public if at all possible. Don't touch your face, the one I struggle with so much. Control your cough with an elbow or a tissue. That includes sneezing. 6 feet or more of distance between yourself and others in public, social distancing. 25 or less to a gathering, preferably less. Stay home if you are sick. Utilize telehealth to get in touch with your doctor, or stay home if you're sick to work if at all possible. Now, talking about Phase 2, businesses that were closed during Phase 1 are now allowed to open at 25% capacity for Phase 2. This includes things like tattoo parlors, day spas, swimming pools, event centers, bars, or bars without a food permit. Those sorts of things, they will be open during Phase 2 at a 25% capacity rate. Those businesses that were closed during Phase 0 but open during Phase 1 will be allowed to open now with 50% capacity. So we're going from 25 to 50% capacity. That includes things like restaurants. So we might be seeing more people heading out to restaurants as time goes forward. One of the announcements that was made at the governor's Wednesday press conference, there it is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser joined him and said that the state parks are going to be reopening to the public in Phase 2. They're actually offering a deal, 3 nights, get a 4th night free at these state parks. We have several state parks here in Louisiana. They all have something a little interesting to offer. There will still be 3 that will have sections cordoned off because they are in rural areas and they're being used to house coronavirus patients. So please keep that in mind if you're looking around at a park that you want to go to. May not be able to go to all of them because some places are going to be they're not going to have an availability. But remember, 3 nights at a state park, you get the 4th one free. Speaking of that, 2 senators in a bipartisan push, Cory Gardner, a Republican from Colorado, and Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, are looking to push what's called the National Parks Act, and they're trying to find coronavirus money to catch back up with maintenance, with deferred maintenance and that kind of thing throughout America's state parks, or excuse me, America's national parks, trying to get folks to go out there and make a push for an economic recovery in those areas. The reason so is because you can book nights there. The rates are reasonable, but of course that does put money into the economy, jobs, that sort of thing. Of course, catching up with a lot of this deferred maintenance would create a lot of construction jobs and maintenance jobs as well. So they're trying to push roughly over $1 billion into all the national parks, trying to get that deferred maintenance caught back up and get folks going to these state parks over the summer. So I want to let you know about that. That hadn't quite been pushed through. It has not quite been pushed through. There it is. But it is a project that they're looking at the federal level to try to get folks to get out and about. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if something like that passes, 42 million people in America are currently unemployed. They're still looking at that number to grow and continue to grow, at least for a little while. Right now, Livingston Parish is still second in the capital region, roughly 18,000 unemployed. It does look like we've kind of plateaued on that as the growth in the numbers on a weekly basis has slowed down. I guess you could say it's a secondary flattening of the curve. So we're trying to navigate that. Over 50% of hourly workers in Livingston Parish were let go, especially at small businesses due to the novel coronavirus. So it was kind of a tough situation here in Livingston Parish. We're still trying to bounce back. It's going to be interesting to see how these economic recoveries work. Of course, right now, most of us are preparing for Cristobal. So not going to go through those mitigation efforts and statistics again. You can find them at about minute 8 or 9 of this video if you want to go back and look at them. We just announced them. Usually I go through this entire spiel that lasts about 10 or 11 minutes, so I'll go back through them, but not today. Want to remind folks that you can get sandbags in Denham Springs at the fire department and behind James Drugstore. That will be occurring all day. They will also have sandbags at the Council on Aging from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. The governor has declared a state of emergency. We are expecting effects from the storm to begin here on Sunday. Getting back into your traffic, minor delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. On-ramp delays at I-12. However, I-12 itself is clear. Dunn and Lockhart having some delays because of that roundabout. Looks like folks are still trying to get used to it. It's currently 73 degrees. 91 degrees is your high today. 73 degrees your overnight low. Mixture of clouds and sun today. More sun than clouds. Want to remind folks, please get a game plan going into the weekend. Please remember that disaster recovery and dealing with a disaster in real time is a little more difficult when you're also dealing with a public health emergency. So get a game plan with your neighbors, with the folks in your home, trying to remember doing our best to social distance and that kind of thing, especially if we have to deal with a disaster. Excuse me. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Want to remind you guys that we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We are once a week in print on Thursdays at $7 a month. Got that right today. We're also online. We do have a free page for podcasts and a free page for coronavirus. Otherwise, it is $5 a month. Also, looks like I'm going to be getting that piece of equipment I need to upgrade how we do this. We're going to be streaming live through a camera now, through the computer. So we're going to have a little bit better sound. We're also going to have a little bit better picture. And I'm going to be able to interact with folks in their comments as the show goes on. So we're looking forward to that. Going to start next week. If not Monday, then Tuesday. It should be in by Monday. Appreciate you guys joining us again. We hope you have a great day. It's supposed to be a pretty day today and tomorrow. Please be prepared for Sunday. Remember to clean out those ditches. Keep your area clean. Let's make sure that once that rain comes, it can get into our drainage canals, ditches, and rivers and get on out of here. Hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we will see you Monday morning.